Welcome to the Yellow Trumpet. I am Chituga, and today our topic shall be love. Love is said to be a strong affection felt towards another person, either based on family ties or a relationship, affinity. There has been much said about love over the years, especially in modern times. Even in the old times, a lot of literature has been written about love, that is romance, and a lot of movies have been made about love. And in these movies, there seems to be a misrepresentation of what love means. Love is set up as a transaction. Naturally, love is expressed through giving, and it is a yearning from within. However, the nature of love as placed in the movies and in the books is basically a transaction. You do this for me, I do this for you. I feel so good, I do this for you. It is strange that we will take what comes from the movies as the true definition of love, considering the divorce rates in that industry. So it is certain that they aren't quite particularly clear on what they mean by love. By love, I am not referring to romance. In fact, I think the English language has caused a lot of ambiguity by grouping too many things under love. For instance, I was taught that in Greek there are three words. All three words are translated to mean love in English language. There is agape, which is they usually say brotherly, sisterly love, Christian love, but the word agape existed before Christianity. So I'll translate it to mean, yes, brotherly, sisterly, platonic love. I'll translate it to mean that. Then there is filial. Filial is love between, or the kind of love that a parent will have for their children. For children, family members, and what have you. And then there is eros. Eros is, sex, or what is called romance. It's termed to mean love, but it is mostly physical attraction. I read in Merriam-Webster the second definition of love is someone that when you are sexually attracted to a person. I question that definition. By modern standards, perhaps it's permissible, but by the real nature of love itself, it misses the point. It misses the point because love stems from within. Love is your own nature. You do not require another person's good conduct or another person to reach their own end of a bargain before you become loving. Again, I will state that I have not said that love means that you are a mumu, that whatever other people want you do for them without considering yourself. That is not what I have said. Of course, by being loving, you tend to put others ahead of yourself, and there is nothing wrong with that, so long as it is not detrimental to your health and your well-being. There is nothing wrong with that. We long to be loving because it is a yearning of our own nature. If you are able to sit down, gather your scattered mind, be at a place, calm your thoughts, collect yourself, you would find that consequent upon this activity is a certain pleasant emotional state. It bursts forth from you. It does not require the good deeds of another person or good behavior of another person. It is not dependent on any other person but you. And regardless of how nasty the persons around you are untouched by this behavior, because by your very nature, you are love. So much to be said about love. But will you listen? Your ideas of love isn't necessarily love. Your ideas of love is the reason your relationships break down. Your ideas of love is expecting and receiving the good deeds of others. Love is more of giving. Love is more of considering. And there is the sacrificial element about it. As a mother or a father would sacrifice for their child. A child that society says they owe a duty, but they are not prompted by any duty or transaction with that child. They take care of the child because the child is helpless, because the child is theirs. It's just a prompting. No fancy story about it. If you're feeling aroused by another person, you are sexually aroused, you are not in love. You want to satisfy that pleasure. For your own good, don't call it love. Love is the ability to sit back, consider your life, and see that in spite of the variety of situations that different individuals find themselves, we are all in the same boat in this human existence. Love is your ability to drive with the pedestrian in mind, to consider the silly child that dashes onto the road while accelerating. Consider that child, the possibility that it will happen, and restrain your excitement of throttling on a street, erasing the possibility of knocking down that child. You haven't seen the child. You know that it is a crowded area. You know that people love plying speed on the road, but you're also conscious of the fact that children cross this road. And it could be dangerous at some point because children tend to do dangerous things. Love is a feeling that should be shared amongst brethren, amongst citizens. It is easy to hate ourselves. It is hard to love, to truly love. When another man says something that I find offensive towards my cultural group, how do I respond? With abuses? Even if you say respond in love, what does that mean? Well, it will depend on the situation. But here is what I have to tell you. If you are consistent in the practice of owning or grounding yourself, being grounded in the knowledge of yourself, if you are consistent in the practice of taking 5 to 15 minutes out in your day to breathe in, pause, exhale, pause. If you are consistent, you will find that you would be a loving person, a practical loving person. you would be a loving person. And that love of yours, enough of us, that loving, that caring, will spread that love to society. If there is no love, it will be difficult to build a stable society. Consider this. Love is the cement, is mortar that you use to hold the bricks together. Love is important. You need to love your nation to perform certain sacrifices that others will not perform. For instance, it is the soldier's duty to love his country, to defend his fellow citizens, and the Constitution. In doing this, he must put his nation ahead of himself. And having done this, he needn't carry. It's a difficult thing, and frankly, I'm asking for a lot. He needn't carry over any aggression based on his experiences into society. He needn't vent on society. I know government has not always been faithful in redeeming their own pledge of taking care of those tasked with the responsibility of protecting us. But because of love and out of care and concern, they continue to put themselves in the line. So much to say about love. But you should note that love stems from inside of you. Love radiates from inside of you. You put it out in society. No transaction can force it out of you. I urge you all to be loving in your disposition, to embrace yourself, so that you will see that the effort towards a loving society is an individual effort. It's not a transaction. It is a personal decision. I hope enough of us make this decision for a better society. Thank you for listening. This is the Yellow Trumpet. I am Chituga. Take care.